What is going on, guys? It is Logan again, and today I'm giving you a pretty nice gun streak on Dome. It's like a 36 gun streak, and I'm going to be giving you tips on how to get your first MOAB, because I know multiple of my subscribers haven't gotten their first MOAB yet, and I just want to help you guys get past their first MOAB, because once you do it the first time, it's pretty easy to keep doing it, I'll be honest. So this is also a triple Broab. It's me, Bond Figgy, and the great MOAB. We all get a MOAB this game, and this MOAB is very defensive. It's not a rush MOAB, because I really wanted to give a gameplay to you guys that just shows how to get your first MOAB. So I do pick up my specialist bonus somewhat fast, but then I know the spawns. Like, honestly, that's one of the biggest things. I mean, Dome isn't a very good map for your first MOAB. I would probably say a map like, I'd say Resistance or Lockdown are probably your best bets for your first MOAB. Maybe Mission's okay for the map, because the spawns are pretty set for those maps, and you can know exactly where they will be. For this map, the spawns for B are in the room that I'm in right now, and they will spawn right outside the B, where right outside B looking towards C. The two exits to B is where they will spawn, but when they have C, they will spawn in C itself, or they will spawn outside of C towards the Dome, or they can even spawn inside B, because the spawns on this map aren't that good, but most of the time they will come through either the door that I'm about to pass through, right out here. This is where they will spawn if they have C most of the time, and pretty much all of the time if they have A, 99% of the time they will spawn in the Dome or right outside the Dome. But if you're being two capped, it's kind of different, and there's the great MOAB's MOAB, because they can spawn in two different flag spawns, and sometimes if you rush it, they will spawn on your flag. Happens all the time. So what I wanted to go over is how to play smart, play defensive, whatever you want to call it. It's not camping. As you can see, I've already pretty much run around the whole map. What you want to do is really just use cover to your advantage. You'll see I use cover to my advantage later, and what you really want to do is use a good gun. Please use a good gun, otherwise you're not going to get it. And what I'm talking is PP90. For this map, PP90 or MP7. For a longer range map, I would probably say MP7 or ACR, because the ACR has no recoil. It's really good at long range. It's probably the all-around best gun in the game. And then there's the ACR, which has a pretty high fire rate. I just don't like it that much for close range combat, so I would never use it on this map, but I think the MP7 is perfect for this. And as you can see, I'm checking corners, using cover to my advantage, and I would advise not using Scavenger as a specialist unlock or as your first perk. That's just my opinion, because I think you're kind of wasting a perk, because why would you choose Scavenger when you can pretty much have a second primary, MP9 silence or MP9 extended mags? That gun is a tank. It is probably better than the MP5 and the PM9. It can compete with the UMP in my opinion. It has a high fire rate, not very much recoil, and you'll see here, this is where I use cover to my advantage. Just look over here and pop up, reload, pop back up, and just rake in those assists. I would also advise having Recon Pro. That way you can get assists along with Hardline Pro, which will get many usefulness, I guess. And I would advise using Assassin as well. Assassin is definitely one of the best perks in the game, if not the best perk in the game. It's not my favorite perk. I would probably say, well, if you have a headset, use Sitrep Pro 2. I mean, that perk is tank. It is so good. It is one of the greatest perks ever. Recon is an incredibly underrated perk. I would use it as an unlock. I usually do with my MP7, but this game I decided to switch it up a little bit. I was actually trying to use Insomnilus's class setup, so I changed up the specialist perks, but it's still a pretty good setup. So if this video gets to, I'm going to say 12 likes, because that's what that double MOAB got. If this video gets to 12 likes, then I will upload a class setup video, the best classes for MOABs. And you guys will probably, I'm going to be confident that you guys can get your first MOAB if you use these tips. I know most of you are average to above average players, and there's my MOAB, pretty slow one at like 5 minutes. And it's easy once you do it first time. So what you really want to do, I mean, don't camp. I would never advise camping. I would advise stay mobile, but just use cover to your advantage, and don't just run around like a chicken has his head cut off, I guess. I don't know. I've never really used that saying before. But I would advise always, I would also say stick away from your teammates if you have confidence in your gun skill. If not, then maybe stay where one of your teammates is in case you need backup. But you don't want to be around your teammates that way in case you die from a predator missile, or someone knows your friend is there and he runs away and you're still there and he kills you. You don't want that to happen. Awesome aim right there, I know. So what you really just want to do is you just want to stay away from your teammates, be a lone gun for a little bit, and use a good gun. Use hardline, all that stuff that I already said. Use cover. That is probably the biggest one. Use cover to your advantage. Know the spawns. And I would advise running with a 6-man team. Well, not necessarily a 6-man team, but a couple of players. That way, in case you need help, then you will just get that help. So that, and for call-outs and everything. So as you can see, I'm still on my gun streak. I think I get to 36 or 38, something like that. And then the MOAB goes boom, I get a multi-kill. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys can get this to 12 likes, because I have some awesome classes that you guys will all enjoy. So yeah, peace.